Hi guys, welcome back to Game of Muscle videos. We are jumping into the Porsche 2017 Cup car at Imola on sim racing system for the 7 PM Thursday night race, and we're running a setup provided to us by BRT Cobra, who's got a YouTube channel. Check it out and subscribe to it. But basically, setup just stiffens up the car a bit, gets it to turn in, and it's a nice speedy setup, so it should get us somewhere. We didn't quite do the full qualifying, so we got one lap in, and that was with the default setup, which has put us in 7th place. But as the lights go on the screen, we are ready to go. And what we're going to do whilst we drive, we'll talk about all the mistakes we're making in life in general, but mostly in this race. Why is he reversing? I don't know. And I thought it'd be quite interesting to watch. Of course, we are playing. Well, we've just been tapped on the back there. We're playing with the HTC Vive in virtual reality, and to be honest, that's the best way to play. But look at this, cars everywhere. We've got, well, we're not going to try and read the names as we come into T1, but we've got about 4 or 5 cars in front of us. We've been tapped on the back, we've been nibbled. There's a car off there. I'm going to have to go take evasive action on the grass, rejoin the track, hopefully not lose any places. I think I've just managed to stay in front of one place. We found ourselves in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th place now, and it's not a bad start. 6th place maybe. 6th place. There was an invisible car in front of us, Harry Houdini, in 2nd place. We didn't notice him. So we're up 1 place from where we started. Not bad considering we had a spinner at the front there. So there's a good example of what to do at the start of a race when there's lots of cars and lots of activity. Generally, you always have to be ready to take evasive action, and sometimes that evasive action is just take your car off the road and get out of the way. It was rather unfortunate the guy that lost it was just literally parked side on. It's possibly the worst thing to happen. Oh, here we go. So we're going to go on the inside of this guy and then to the left of that other guy, because so we noticed the car there that first spun. We know he's going to slide out because of the momentum. We know the camera of the road. So rather unfortunate. Oh, our brakes aren't very effective. We're going to get a penalty there. Rather unfortunately, he tapped the guy in front of him. But nice bit of avoidance there. I think with avoiding crashes on the first lap, a lot of it is sort of working out the momentum of the car that's lost control, and then trying your best to avoid it. We're going to come off the throw. I just took that guy out. That was terrible of me. But I put the blame squarely on the Kunos penalty system there. I couldn't put my foot on the gas, otherwise we'd get a penalty. So unfortunately the car behind us was expecting us to accelerate off, and he drove into us. Whoops. Don't do that, guys. If you're going to scrub off your penalty, it's better to pull over and not take people out. But as far as the insurance company is concerned, the other guy's paying because he drove into the back of me. Oh, try and stay up the inside here. Now, a big mistake I've made going into this race is I changed my brake sensitivity. This is not something that you want to do before you go into a race and before you do any laps, because you don't know how hard to push your brake before you're going to lock up, and or even for the brake points. This car's got ABS on it, so locking up's not really much of a problem, but generally it's better to keep your brake sensitivity and curves, if you're using a curve, it's generally better to keep them the same at all times, so you're not trying to have to relearn things. It'd be like changing your mouse sensitivity every game. Oh, this guy's a bit slow. So this should be interesting. We're stuck behind this car, and he's braking early, so we now know that he's braking earlier for a lot of the brake points, so I'm going to keep that in mind, and I myself will brake a bit preemptively so that we don't end up rear-ending him. But what I'll also do is I'm going to be looking for opportunities to put my car to the side of him, or be lined up with a little bit of distance, so that when he does brake too early, we can then shove the car down the inside or outside and get a nice easy pass on him. I've got a suspicion on this last corner he might lose it a little bit, so we might get a good run on him on the straight. There we go. He didn't lose it, but we got a much better, cleaner line through that corner. So we're going to hopefully be able to take advantage of his draft. For this corner, for the first corner on this track, you really want to overtake on the inside and be on the inside. So he should have really defended on the left there. But we didn't brake late enough there. We braked too early. But he should have defended on the left so that we couldn't have just gone up the inside of him. I'm not in too much of a rush. It's only lap 3 of 13 to get past this guy. We'll keep putting pressure on him. I've got a suspicion that he might make a mistake. Who is it? Fernando V. Silvia. We'll see. We'll keep putting pressure on him. We'll put the if you leave the toast under the grill, the toast will burn. And we're putting him right up against the grill here. We could practically smell his fumes coming from his exhaust pipe. Whoa, there he goes. Braking way too early, but that gave us an opportunity to just slide one up the inside, and we were quite close to rear-ending him there because I was not expecting him to brake quite that much, but I'll take the position. Now, this corner here that we've just gone through, strangely, the Kunos North Korea Death Squad penalty system doesn't come into effect too much for that corner, and you can actually run really, really wide and get away with it. So it's worth in some ways doing that. I mean, I guess you could argue it's cutting, but I would have thought all the faster drivers are probably running wide at that point. Just having a little glance at my rear view mirror there. When you're coming into corners, especially, I mean, it's a public server habit that. It's not too bad in a sim racing system, but that downhill corner, it's always worth just having a little glance up at your rear view mirror, because it's the kind of corner where people tend to lock up. Again, this car's got ABS, it doesn't tend to happen, but you'll look in your rear view mirror and you'll see a car coming towards you. It'll give you a chance to avoid it. More of a public server racing thing. People aren't going to crash into you on sim racing system there too much, or in a league race, but better to protect yourself, better safe than sorry. We're slowly catching up with João Nunes, and I'm just slowly getting to grips with my brake pressure. It's literally twice as heavy as I normally have it, so it's totally throwing me off, and I'm braking in all the wrong places and not braking quite right. So, João Nunes, 3.9 seconds away from us, underneath the Spark advertising. I think with the Porsche, this corner here, I don't know the corner names in this track, so we're just going to keep saying this corner. With the Porsche, I think it does pay to brake early on that corner, and then stamp on the accelerator to sort of push the car around it. But I've not quite mastered it yet. Not really. This is my second race with this Porsche on this track, so I'm not that familiar with it, with this car. Try and cut as much of that as possible. You can go on the AstroTurf here a little bit. Really nice how Kunos have the car slip when you go over the AstroTurf. Like, the grip levels are probably half, if not a quarter, of what you get on the road. So you have to be really, really careful with that you've got the car lined up when you get on the gas there, but also that you don't have any sort of too much sideways momentum of the vehicle, otherwise you'll just slide wide and get the Kunos North Korea death penalty, cut penalty. So 3.5 seconds off third place. I think we're on lap 5 of 13, so with the pace we're doing now, if we tidy things up a bit, we should get on his tail. I broke later there, and as you can see, we we didn't brake enough. But I think he made a mistake as well. No, he's a second up. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop talking for a second until we get on this guy's tail, or start talking if anything interesting happens, like I accidentally kebab shot myself into a wall or something. We'll focus on catching up with this car. 4.2 seconds. Let's see if we can eat away at that. Okay, so we're now pretty much on his tail. As you notice, thanks to not talking and concentrating a bit more, but also you notice we were getting better braking points and better racing lines through those corners, and you know, with this car especially, because the way you sort of have to load it up and avoid the understeer, when you get it working for you relative to a driver that's maybe missed it a tiny bit, you'll gain a second or so on them instantaneously per corner, so it's really nice. So now we've just got to work away past Mr. Nunes. We'll try and get past him cleanly. This the chicane here at the top of this hill, not a good place to overtake. I mean, you can often just stick your car up the inside if you're feeling cheeky, and then the guy on the outside can't really do anything because your car's in the way. It's a bit of a forceful, cheeky way to overtake. I mean, if it's last lap, that's the only option sometimes. Downhill here, it can be good to overtake, but it's really risky because if you do tap them, you've got the risk of you both flying off the track. Fortunately, we've got a bit of a gap between us and the next pit and the other people, so it wouldn't be too bad to do a dive bomb down there, but it's not a good place. Generally, you might as well just wait to the start-finish line where it's mostly safe and you can go for the overtake on the inside. Now, in the previous race I did, we went for this overtake here on the inside, but I wasn't paying attention to the brake markers. And it's really important on the inside that you do brake a little bit early because the track sort of knocks in a bit. So you actually have to be quite far in front of the guy that you're overtaking to actually make the overtake stick, otherwise you'll miss the brake point and you won't be lined up for any of those chicanes and you'll lose a lot of time. So we broke early there, we didn't get in front of him, which is not a problem. We just overbroke a bit there and the back end of the car was flying out, and then we've just taken a bit too much grass. But we'll try and work our way past this guy. We're going to get right in his tail. I think on this track though, really, the safest two corners to go for the overtakes are the one we just went through, the really slow left-hander, and the start-finish line straight. Other than that, everything else can be really quite risky, even if you've got a good bit of momentum and you know you've got a clean way past them. They can still be very, very risky overtakes to try and make. I'm so tempted. I won't though. We'll play it nice and easy. Going to brake a bit early. If you get a really clean run through the chicane here, you can often get a good overtake because they're slow off it. Oh, what's going on there? What am I doing? Oh dear, I've just took myself out. Terrible driving. We're going to have to get back in gear, get back on the track, not take these guys out. I was not concentrating. Well, I tell you what happened. I was talking too much, and we had too much throttle and angle on the AstroTurf, and because I was talking, and because I was right next to Mr. Nunes' bumper, Nunes Jowl's bumper, I didn't notice the amount of slip we had. So there you go. There's a lesson to be learnt. We've got 4 laps left. We're going to have to try and salvage this. Oh dear, there's me talking about being confident and waiting for the right time to overtake, and I completely noobed myself. Off to the dunce corner. Now we've got cold tyres. We're going to get a penalty here. It's all gone. It's all gone to pot. This is the dangers of talking and driving. Let's try not to lose this position. We're going to have to play a bit defensive. Oh dear, what a disaster. Yeah, the tyres have obviously gotten cold because of our sloppy kebab shop driving. We're just going to have to rein things in a little bit. Hopefully get on the tail of these two guys. But as you saw with João Nunes there, him just driving nice and steady, even though potentially we were going to make a move on him just driving nice and steady and holding his line caused us to make the mistake. So sometimes when you're in front, I mean, it's easy to feel a lot of pressure when you've got a car right behind you, but you also have to remember the car behind you has pressure on them as well, because they're trying to work out how to overtake. So I think if you're the type of driver, like myself as well, where if you're in front and you're sort of feeling a bit of pressure from the car behind you, if you just think, oh, what they're doing, put yourself in their perspective and think how much pressure they're under to overtake, it can alleviate the pressure that you're on, and you can just concentrate on driving your line. And the nice thing of being in front, of course, is that you're really the one in charge. So, you know, I guess on public servers and in general, it's better to still be aware of what the other guy's doing so they don't take you out. But for the most part, if you're driving with someone competent behind you, they have to work out a way past you. So it should really be quite relaxing having someone behind you. Often isn't, but I think thinking of it that way should alleviate the stress a little bit. Oh dear, we need to get through here nice and quick so we can get past these guys. Fortunately, they're battling with each other, so we might just catch up with them and salvage our 4th place position back. 3 laps to go. Well, there we go. He's gone wide, and that's going to slow him right down. I'm going to try and... oh no. I was going to go to the outside, then I was going to go to the inside, but he blocked it off, which was quite nice driving actually. Who was it? Fernando V. Silvia. Nice, he just blocked us off there. He made the mistake, but he pretty much, well, he's almost stopped us from getting the overtake just by blocking the inside line off, which is nice of him. We're going to have to brake extra early here because we're right on the inside with the curb in. The car's going to understeer like a beast. But there we go, we've sealed the deal on that. David Dickens' real Porsche deal. Oh, we're a bit slow through here. Bit of a wonky line. See if we can catch up with Joel Vanalvu. Can't see his name properly, but I'm gonna. That's my guess at it. My VR glance name guess. Joel Vaulu. Verlau. Joel Verlau. That's a crazy name. It's an awesome name, but it's a crazy name. Just glancing up at the rearview mirror there, as I say. Last couple of laps, even on Sim Racing System, there's a good chance we might get rear-ended, so we're being careful. We're now pulling away from Fernando. Oh dear, what a disaster. I can't believe we kebab shopped ourselves in such a newbie way. There you go. Punishment. Everyone takes a trip to the kebab shop every now and again, though. It's good to get some greasy food in you. Oh, we're struggling to get a car in. And what I need to do for that corner is take the car in a bit wider so that we're not pushing the car into understeer. That's what's really nice with this Porsche, actually, is that it really does force you to drive around its inherently understeery nature. But even though it is understeery, you can induce the oversteer either with the throttle, with some slight setup changes, but also by just positioning the car right and then using the steering to sort of load the car up into the corners correctly. So it's really nice how it has this brutal understeer that basically just is a safe way of telling you that you're driving badly, and it forces you to drive well without killing you. Though strangely, the back end still comes out as well. Often with a lot of cars that tend to be more understeery, they don't have the back end action. You need the back end action because that's where all the fun is, you see. So it's nice that this car has both the front end and the back end action. It's everything with this. We are slowly catching up with Mr. Crazy Name. I've just missed the brake point there. We'll just try and put the cut inside. He's gone wide. Need to find a way of putting the names higher up or somewhere more visible without blocking the view, so we don't have to look down, read the Bible of names down here and then end up missing a break point. 2 laps to go, 1.9 seconds. Let's see if we can catch up with them. I think we can. I think we've got it in us. Just got to get through these corners with a bit more speed. Watch out for the sausages. Too much sausage and you'll be making a full English, which you don't want to be doing in this car because it's got more bounce to it than if you're a small child when an obese person gets in a bouncy castle. So you need to be careful. Whoa, we need to line up through that better. That's like a tightrope walker in a thunderstorm there. You shouldn't really be shaking the steering wheel like a lunatic. Just have you want to be working with the car's movements rather than fighting it. Which we're not doing at the moment, so a lesson in how not to drive this car at the moment. Who says we're not useful? Oh dear, struggling to get stick in. You can see the skid marks where people have gone on the AstroTurf. They have to really watch out that you don't wall it on that patch of AstroTurf if you do run wide. So see there, we can go right out. I mean, I don't think it gives you that much of a time advantage going that far out, but you don't get the penalty, which is bizarre. I think Kunos just went round with a marker pen as they were building the track, and they're like, yeah, this corner will give you a 40-minute penalty. This one, no penalty. And this corner here, instant death penalty. Oh, come on, we should be lined up. I was a bit slow through that last part there, but we should. I think this is coming up to the last lap. It says last lap in Assetto Corsa. Yes, it says last lap when the first place guy goes over it, which is a little bit confusing because you can think, oh, I'm already on the last lap, but you're not. we go. Oh, trying to get it through. I think the tyres have started to go a little bit because we are struggling to get the car through there, but we're right on him. I think we're going to have to go for the uphill chicane overtake. It looks like that's going to be where we'll be when we get behind him. Shuffling there. You can cut that inside of that first corner quite a lot, and you still gained a lot of time there, so balancing the throttle a little bit of counter steer to try and keep the car straightened up and get the power down. It's going to be an overtake on the chicane. As I say, it's a good corner for the last lap overtake. Hopefully we don't take him out. If we do, it'll be off to punishment land. We'll have to delete the video and pretend it never happened. Oh dear, why is he braking so much there? That almost caught us out. Here we go. So I'm going to make it look like going up the left, but we'll go up the right. Try and outbrake him. No, we're too far back. So I've sort of abandoned it, lined it up. Whoa, with too much AstroTurf. I can't even caught that. I had to readjust that and try and line it up to get the line through the corner after abandoning the overtake there. You sort of work out in advance if you're going to be able to make it or not. Might be able to get him across the start-finish line if we can get a clean exit on this. No, we can't get his... We're not going to be able to get past him. It's going to be close. Not bad. Nice race to the finish line there. João Valau showing us how it's done. We almost got him. You've got to be careful in that situations that you don't give him a little tap, because on that last corner, a little tap on the bottom and he would have gone spinning around. It really would have ruined his race. But there you go. That was a race in the Porsche Cup car and sim racing system. As you see, most of the driving is really nice and clean. Really fantastic fun. Hopefully you learnt from that how not to drive. Don't copy what we did there. Some terrible driving. But don't forget to click the subscribe button. Like us. We'll click the like button as well. Drop any comments. And look out for our next videos that will be coming very soon indeed. So until the next video, thanks for watching. And goodbye everybody.